All roads lead to the vein.
Hey, what's up everyone? Brad Chmielewski here with episode 163 of Shatter the Vain. This week I have Celsior Esports joining me. They're a pretty new and upcoming guild organization in the Vainglory community. They got some great players on their team. They're doing some really fun community events. I know a few of them played in the EasyL tournament, that one of them that recently happened. So yeah, they got the experience. VIS League, they were playing in that. Oh man, just definitely fun to see some new orgs coming up, making waves, just showing that, you know what, these top players, you better watch out. There's some new blood coming in here, ready to take you down. So we dive into their story, what they have going on, as well as we talk a lot about 5v5 and what it means for the 3v3 mode. Are we gonna lose that when 5v5 gets released? I don't know. It's hard to say right now. If the game can support both of them, if the balance team over there, Nivmet and all those guys can, and Zcat can balance for 3v3 and 5v5. I don't know. We touch on that a little bit, not knowing anything that's going to happen here in the future of Vainglory. Just a lot of thoughts on what could happen. But yeah, let's do it. Let's jump into episode 163.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 163rd episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And every week, bringing on people from the community, people that love this game, play it, support it, do interesting things, all facets. And this week, I have Celsior Esports joining me. This is a big group of guys. But welcome. This is good to have you guys here.
Thanks for having us.
I think the best way to go around is for everyone to introduce themselves. Just let them know who you are, and then we'll kind of jump into more about, who you guys are and everything, what you do.
Go Helios.
Yeah, I think. Excuse me. I think I'll go first. I'm Helios. Helios564 in game. If you want to add me, I'm actually the CEO and the owner of the org, and it's a lot of work.
Cool.
I'll jump right in here. I'm 8-Bit, 8-Bit VG on Twitter. Follow me. I'm the captain / roamer for Celsior Lions, and that's basically it. I help out Helios, and I'm here.
MrTnt, you guys see me in previous episodes. My information will be in the description as always. I basically design the website. I do content creation. I help out manage Vertigo, and I sometimes help out manage Lions as well.
Cool.
I'm Skew, or Skewlu7, aka Skew, is what I prefer to go as. I'm the roamer for Vertigo, which is technically the farm team of Celsior. And yeah.
Cool. Yeah, MrTnt, you were on episode 154, like before talents were even in the guys. Talents were just getting introduced, so good to have you back here.
Definitely, it was nice.
Okay. So first off, the Vertigo name, does this have anything to do with the old Vertigo, or is that not the case for anyone that remembers that Vertigo?
The old time Vertigo? No. I'm pretty sure we're actually getting a name change in that, aren't we?
Yeah. We're working on that. It actually has no. We didn't
correlation.
Yeah. But actually, Brutal Turtle, he came up to me and he was like, "Hey, there's like a kind of like a bad."
The Vertigo curse.
Yeah, there's like a Vertigo curse on it. I was like, "Oh, well, we should change that." So,
okay. Yes, I thought I'd ask that here at the top, just in case anyone was wondering.
Just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we didn't name our main roster Lions Vertigo.
Okay. Nice. So then, Helios, how did you start the org, or why did you start the org? Like, what made it happen? Love to hear that.
Well, I've been really playing Vainglory a lot, and I was in the EasyL, and after the first season where my captain left, I took over that team, and I just like the feeling of having
Power.
no, but like feeling to be able to help other players and other community members to get more involved and more connected into the community and get better at Vainglory itself. So I started the org because, well, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and really it's just kind of snowballed until then, and it's just turning into a really good story, I find.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So how big is the org right now? Is it has just maxed out the 50 guild in Vainglory, and that's just kind of like a big community now you're building?
Yeah, the guild isn't full at all yet. We
Okay.
just started that. The Discord server has a few hundred, and our Twitter just hit 200.
Nice.
Yeah, if anybody wants to join Celsior Esports guild, just add me in game Helios564, and then you can just join the guild. It's open.
Mm-hmm. So did you enjoy that EasyL? You sound like you enjoyed the EasyL experience. I haven't followed up since I had them on originally when they were launching it, but it seemed like I've heard pretty good things about everything that went on with that tournament and the people that run it. So it's
Amazing. Loved it.
Oh yes, yeah. It's well organized, and I think they just do a great job of keeping everything intact and making sure other players play their games and then getting payouts at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So then I guess before that, were you playing, or were all you guys playing other MOBAs, or how'd you get into Vainglory? Like, how'd you find your way to this mobile game?
Commercials, man. I saw it on TV. I was like,
the one commercial?
The one commercial they've ever released.
Hey, they're making a comeback. I saw one on Twitch before the VG8 this morning.
Yeah,
Oh,
Twitch
really?
commercials.
So maybe, I don't know.
I saw the commercial on TV. I was like, never played a MOBA before. Actually, that's a lie. I played League once, and I absolutely hated it.
Okay.
But I saw the commercial, and I was like, just got a brand new iPhone 6, I think, and I'm like, gonna try it. Fell in love with it.
Nice.
Yeah, I found it. I was going through the App Store, and it kept Vainglory was at the top, and then you'd scroll down, it was Vainglory again, and I was scroll down, it was Vainglory again. And
It's everywhere.
well, I might as well try it, so I got it, and then yeah, it was pretty fun. So I kind of stuck with it, I guess.
Nice.
I was in Europe when I first downloaded it. I was on a trip, backpacking through Europe, and I was like,
You guys know
I
how I
just
got
got
into
internet.
it. Basically the same way as these guys watching the Apple keynote.
Apple keynote.
But yeah, it's been fun ever since, besides the solo queue.
Yeah.
Besides the solo.
Solo queue.
Yeah. So after the EasyL tournament, then you started this, and now you guys recently were playing in the VIS League, right? The Challenger Series. How'd that go? And how's that experience been?
Well, honestly, I think we have to take it back to the beginning.
Okay.
Actually, I met Helios in EasyL. My team placed second overall, of course, and then I had two teams, second, and then the other one placed fourth. So it's pretty successful.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I fell in love with the competitive scene. Playing with Vainglorious players, BG Silver players, and I started a team, Team Palace. We actually streamed last VIS split, and that was the original core team of me captaining, and then Exhibit Witness and Kenpai. Then Helios came along. I'm looking for an org to play for, and Helios was like, brand new org, love you to try out for it. And we tried out, and went pretty well. Picked up some new players, Nick 40 and Audio Vox. Sadly, Victor Mortalis had to leave, but we've been training training hard for this VIS split that we just played in. I was just caught up with graduating and getting ready for college, so unfortunately I couldn't play in this VIS split. But honestly, I saw Nick and Audio play their hearts out, and then we had Apollo who came in to sub for Rome only a couple with like a week or two notice.
Uh-huh.
And I think he really stepped up, and unfortunately we lost. But I feel like that was definitely due to connectivity issues with Nick and just some comms issues that they had. They really had some tight gameplay, really good mechanics, and that's the split two. I hope to be starting back. I think you're going to see us go real deep into this tournament.
Okay. Has it been difficult playing against some of these players that were in the Vainglory 8? You know, you have like Immortals and these other players that are like seasoned, I guess.
I think we love taking on the challenge. Like Nick is pretty much just Von C. He's not afraid of anybody. As soon as like he's in the game, you know, his mindset, this is my jungle, get out. So I think when we queue up and we play against like, you know, Status or I Love Joseph, and you know, we see those names, a lot of people will, you know, are like, oh shit, we're about to play these guys. But I think that really gets us excited because we love the challenge and just love to get better. And you know, you don't get better by playing people that are worse than you. You get better by playing people that are better than you. You know, so those seasoned veterans, I think it's just a better practice for us and a better learning experience. If we lose, we lose. If we win, you know, we're just getting better and going farther.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, speaking of that, we're also working on, I have schedules in the work for scrimming Rogue and Hammers, Hollywood Hammers in the near future.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So I think the end of VIS or the finals here are coming up this coming week, so we'll learn who's gonna like play against the bottom Vainglory 8 team. So that's still all shaking up. But yeah, the split 2. It seems like the competition, just keeps getting better and better, and it's got to be hard to get in there, right? Like I know there's probably a lot of teams kind of competing for those spots now as players drop out, retire, move around.
Oh, definitely. But again, you just gotta keep on the grind, keep practicing. I mean, I took a week and a half off, week or two off for school, and you know, I saw my play diminish, and I got a little rusty. And I just didn't like that, so I started back on the grind. You know, I continued to play 4 or 5 hours a day, starting the team back up. And I think you just got to keep on the grind to preserve your spot as one of the top elite teams. You know, it's a job basically. You got to keep on it. You know, for all like the lower tier players out there.
Right. I think it was Nikki Tsunami who runs Ardent. He had a tweet. I think after losing VIS this week, he's like, I don't know how you do this if you're not doing this basically full-time, playing for 8 hours a day, practicing kind of all into this. Like, how are you even supposed to compete to this? And
I think I saw that. It was, how do you expect a small org team to win if they don't practice 8 hours a day or something like that?
Right, yeah. And
It's completely true, though. I mean, you got the VGA teams that are practicing 8-9 hours a day. I mean, if you want to be the top best, you gotta commit the time. Mm-hmm. And it's not just about playing; it's about knowledge too. It's a lot of studying.
I thought I saw something earlier where Team Solo Mid only practices like 2 hours a day.
They're gods.
They're there.
No, that's like their new practice schedule. Flash told me they're trying to do something sneaky. They said with practicing. So.
Ooh.
Maybe it's like that sounds interesting.
That sounds really interesting.
Any esport as well, though. Any esport, like you look at League, you look at CS.
But not only are we in VIS,
like
but also competing in NaCl, which is still currently going on. The playoffs are starting today as we speak, but we don't play till later in this week.
Okay, yeah. So what is the NaCl? I know the name. I've seen the logo around, but I don't know. It's not really as hyped up as the VIS or VGL.
It's basically like an EasyL, except the difference between NaCl and EasyL is the EasyL, everybody signs up, and then on one day after there's like scouts and stuff, on EasyL they draft the players, so they pick 5 other players plus yourself.
Okay.
And NaCl, and in NaCl you sign your team up, so it's basically like a VIS or a VG8 or something, except there's no it's not as hype
competitive.
Yeah, it's not as competitive.
Okay.
Well, it's still pretty competitive.
It is
It's
still
not.
pretty,
Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. It's not as hyped up because the top tier teams in NaCl are in like the playoffs currently for VIS.
Okay.
It's in the loser bracket, but they're still in the playoffs. So, and we're able to place. Lions was able to place in ninth place currently going into the draft. We lost one match by one game. It was really close that happened. I don't know exactly what happened during the game. I wasn't able to watch all of them, but I know the last one we did lose and we lost our first series was a few days ago. But we should be able to bring it back in this next coming matches that we're facing in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So when are you guys said those games happening today? When are they played? What are the schedule? Are they just
Well, the team they set it up so there's two sets of games. There's a Monday, Wednesday, and teams have any time in between them to schedule games because you can't just say, yeah, this is the time and be there because obviously some people aren't going to be there. So they set it up like that, and we're playing on the Thursday to Saturday.
Okay. So that's kind of nice. It gives you a little more flexibility on like the VIS. The VIS is there. It has to be done then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the matches are streamed too as well. So
cool.
You're able to get replays and like grow the community because I know they just got their subscriber button as well, NaCl on Twitch.
Yeah. And they also partnered with Icon Gaming.
Oh, right. Yeah. They're pretty big guild, always grinding to get that, 99 spot. And
Oh, yeah.
Nice. So then what's next? You guys have like a community event coming up, right?
Do you want me to explain that?
Sure.
Okay, so I believe we were taking we're taking like a month on that, right, Helios?
For
The community event.
all right.
Well, anyway, I'll give you the breakdown of it because it's kind of the brainchild of me and TNT. So, I had this idea. I loved, I got my start in the competitive scene from EasyL. I think it's a great way to, get your foot in the door. So I'm like, why don't we have a contest of tiers 3 to 8, and they submit a brief writing on why they should be on the Celsior Esports farm team. Because I believe your what's the word? I believe your drive to play the game and to get better is how good you can be. I don't care how great your skill is. As long as you have the drive to get better, I believe you can go as far as you want. So I had this idea to have that contest, and that those 6 players chosen to be on the farm team would be trained by members of Lions and Vertigo, and they'd be training for about a month. And then at the end of that month, we were going to host a tournament. Now, it wouldn't be a pro team tournament. We're going to keep the team's skill tier between tier 3 and 8.
Okay.
We'd hope to get at least, 36 teams, something like that. How many apply, would change it, of course. So we'd have a full skill tournament, last a couple days. The finals or the semifinals match, whichever team got there, hopefully the Celsior Esports farm team would get there, but would face Vertigo. If that team beats Vertigo, then they would face Lions.
Okay.
So it would basically be able to test your skill against semi-pro teams as well as a semi-pro team trained team. So it's basically, we're going to train those 6 players, see how well we can train them that amount of time, and then just have a huge tournament to showcase our training and then to showcase how well we can play too. And at the end, there's going to be an ice prize if you can beat Vertigo and Lions.
Yeah, and there's also, we're doing this as well, so because we're trying to recruit a carry and jungle for Lions because we're missing 2 people on our roster, so we only have 4 people currently on our roster for Lions. So this way we can find people who are actually engaged in the community as well, and they also want to improve.
No, that's pretty awesome. I feel like right now, it's great that you guys are helping these lower tier people who want to maybe get up there, because I think we're in a spot in Vainglory where it's got to be really hard if you were to find the game now and you were maybe decent enough to like get into the pro scene at all. We have a huge barrier to get to at least like the the level where you're starting to play these people or even see them in game now.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's not like one of those pay to play games or whatnot. Like Hearthstone. Not to take anything away from Hearthstone, but if you picked up the game right now and dropped $1,000 on it, you could easily climb the ranks higher than if you just got the game and did spend any money on it. But you can't do that with Vainglory. You actually have to sit down and
invest time. It's like you don't invest money, invest your time.
I'm pretty sure Tier 3 Ringo, though, makes you play better nonetheless. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Tier 3 Ringo is just the stutter step in.
But yeah, your time, and you really do need to find people to play it with. Like, mention the solo queue experience. I end up solo queuing a lot, but I'm not trying to be a pro player. But if you don't find and like get into the community, you have a hard time meeting people and ranking up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Especially when you end up with a CP saw insta-lock.
So that's cool that you guys are trying to put this together. I know EasyL was also, they tried to do some stuff with the lower tier people and just kind of get everyone involved because, yeah, there's, when you're top rank, you don't want to play with other people. Sometimes you're like, I don't know. There's like a class system there.
Yeah, oh, definitely. But I see it all the time. Like, I have people messaging me, can you teach me or give me some tips on how to roam better? And I'm like, sure, no problem. Because I was in that spot once. I was tier 6, tier 7, just itching to get better. And, without, studying the game like piece by piece and learning every hero and every little niche with every little hero, the best alternative is to ask, a VG player, how do I, do this? How do I draft it better? How do I, counter build against this? And, I'm happy to help with whoever I can. That's the only way you can
grow the community as well.
The future,
Yeah, I know Xenotech was doing that with his like school a while ago when he was doing that. And yeah, I liked watching that because you just learn stuff that's better than watching someone play and talk about their gameplay. To be able to comment on someone else's and like just offer that advice is really important. It's cool.
Definitely.
Well, that's awesome with everything you guys have doing, the tournaments, stuff. Fantastic. Can't wait to watch more. I'm going to include links in the show notes to all you guys and the org. But yeah, this is great to find out more about you guys. I got to say, I love the logo. So that looks great too.
Thanks. No, we actually bought that.
Okay.
I have zero talent. I think the best thing I've ever made is maybe a goldfish, and it's like maybe swimming, and it looks like a bird.
Oh, poor Helios.
It's not good.
Cool. Well, so there's a little bit of news, and I got some form static for us to jump into here to keep talking more Vainglory if you guys are down.
Vainglory news.
So there really wasn't much news this past week. I think with the 4th of July holiday, everyone's kind of checked out. We did get a couple things that happened. One, we got a tease or a showcase of the new Celeste skin that's coming out, the Butterfly Celeste. So that skin looks pretty nice. It's just a rare skin, so it's not crazy or anything, but it just looks nice.
Yeah, it's a decent skin.
But be honest, do they really need another Celeste skin?
Well, they love their mages.
Same thing.
They love their mages. Like, look how many skins Scarf has.
Yeah, Scarf has a lot now.
It drives me crazy because like Scarf has a ton, and then there's so many characters that have a ton, and they haven't even finished like the meta skins they used to have for like the epic, rare, and legendary for each hero. I kind of want them to finish all of those and then do all these special ones.
Where's my legendary Flicker skin? Come on.
Right?
Yeah.
Flicker's my babe.
I think so, some of the heroes are just like way easier to design for and come out. The mages have more particle stuff that just makes them more fun to
It
showcase.
just makes it better to advertise. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's their form. It's SEMC's form of advertising for Vainglory.
Definitely.
And then also this week, the Girls and Glory server launched. Just want to mention that. That's a Vainglory collective project. It's a server, Discord server for girls. Go meet other girls that play Vainglory in kind of like a non-toxic, kind of safe environment. So that's pretty cool. I'll include a link to the Discord in the notes there. I know there's a lot of like small servers popping up that are kind of focused for things.
Honestly, I think it's great, but I think by creating those servers, you kind of like start to kind of close yourself off from the rest of the community, and I think just one big, happy Vainglory community all together would be fantastic. I mean, obviously it's impossible because
There's
so many toxicity players.
Billion.
I just would hate to see the community start to, kind of
Branch off, section themselves off.
Section themselves off. It'd become like the Hunger Games, all the districts. It's like, oh, if you're
What an
District
analogy.
1, well, I'm District 8. I hate you. It's like, yeah. So, I mean, it's great that they have their own community, but I just would hate to see the community start to section itself off.
Didn't Hammers also have a similar thing? They had an esport org though.
They did have there was the girl tournament that went on for a little while that Mademoiselle was putting on. I don't know if she's still doing that, but
I don't think so. I haven't heard anything of it.
Hammers had a girl team. A lot of the orgs did have a girl team.
Yeah, I remember that. I still have the Legends of Seven. She played on that team for Hammers, and she's head of the recruitment staff at Hammers. And I talked to. She helps me out. She helps me out a lot. So
nice. So there are a lot of good, solid girl players, a lot of girls in the community that sometimes just a voice gets squashed. So if you're female looking to connect with other girl gamers, check out this Discord server.
Sure, I retweeted it too on the organization on the Celsior Twitter.
Cool.
If you go, I tend to retweet a lot.
And then a little forum static.
Forum static.
I found a topic. I think this is just gonna be the topic nonstop about 5v5 until it gets released. Probably, maybe we'll see something by the end of the year here. But this topic was about, is 3v3 going to get replaced by 5v5? So right now, the core game that we know and many of us have fallen in love with, are we going to lose that? Or are they going to keep both of these? And that's just going to like splinter this.
I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done for this, especially with like hero select, like having enough heroes. That's not going to be that big of an issue because they're getting so many. But just getting people to have them. But another issue is like the matchmaking as well, like finding players to the same tier. I know they've had an issue with that with 3v3, but I'm not sure if replacing it would be like the option for esport, because 3v3 is so unique to Vainglory. There's a ton of MOBAs that have 5v5, especially I think the dreaded Mobile Leagues or Mobile Legends.
Mobile Legends,
yeah. The ads is everywhere. I think that's a 5v5.
Yeah.
I think
it is.
3v3 is what makes Vainglory so unique.
Who plays Vainglory? I play Mobile Legends.
I'd be so surprised if they replaced esports with 5v5 instead of 3v3.
It all depends as well as how well they do their map placements of everything, of just all their neutral objectives. And how fluid the map is. They would
definitely bring a lot of community from the League of Legends community.
Yeah, they would.
If we want those people. Some of them are fairly toxic.
Yeah, who wants League of Legends people? Am I right?
Yeah.
I just want to see how they're going to set the map up. And
I'm really curious of it. Like all the hoppers that are able to jump walls are going to be just disgusting in that map.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I'm interested, but like I just.
They've come flying across the map from like the top, up to like the top lane and
oh god,
guy.
Right. So I think in the forums, this person mentioned like the balance. If they keep both of these, it's going to be incredibly difficult. I know League of Legends, they have both the 3v3 and the 5v5. They don't really focus that much on the 3v3. It's just kind of there, but they tweak stuff every now and then. But you have to have different items for each one. You have to have things do different things. Like a fountain in 5v5 isn't going to be able to heal all 5 of your allies. That's just ridiculous.
It's basically like they're making a whole new game.
Right.
It would take time for it to become like a eccentric game, just like the 5v5.
It's going to be a long project, that's for sure.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's going to even come out in 2017. Because that's what's supposed to come out, right?
It's supposed to, I think it's like going to be like issued out essentially, just shown to the public.
I think that was in the update for 2017 in the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, maybe by the end of the year, or they were like hopeful by the end of the year they'd be able to showcase it, or at least have it. Maybe they put it in like the private game modes or something like that at first.
It's definitely hopeful.
Yeah.
Like SCMC is like looking for like their long-term like growth essentially, I think is what they're trying to do. Because I think they themselves know obviously that it's just not like a short-term project with like 3v3 how well it's doing, that they'll keep that, but then they want to see how else they can expand. And I think that's why they're trying to whip out the 5v5.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, because just partnering with ESL like that just shows how much Vainglory has really progressed. And it really shows if you watch the streams from back when they first didn't partner with ESL and to them now, you can really see the difference that ESL brings to esports, like esports in general.
Yeah, the funniest thing is one of the first live tournaments ever hosted by Vainglory. I was watching it when I first got started, and I was watching the tournament, and I was like just watching the audience, and there was like literally no one there, and the seats were like plastic lawn chairs that I was watching, and I was like, well, what is this? Where did they find to host this place with plastic lawn chairs?
Yeah, it's come quite a bit, but yeah, I think it definitely has a long way to go still. But it's nice to see every week, every season, it just gets better and better.
There's always something new.
That's why I love this game.
But yeah, the 5v5, it just seems like they must realize on the long term that this is what they need to do. But why could they not do it in the beginning? Was the devices, they're like, oh, we need this on mobile, 5v5 isn't going to happen. So
when the game released, wasn't it like iPhone 4?
I think that's true because they did 3v3 because the device size and just processing. Because when they announced it on the keynote first, Apple was showcasing their new phone and their new processor chip that they were putting in it. I don't remember what it was at the time, but they were saying how revolutionary it was because every year they host basically a game to promote like the gaming on mobile side. And this year they did like another like game that they did to showcase the graphics and stuff. So I think that's why they didn't do 5v5 to start out with.
Yeah. I also think it probably was easier to learn and establish themselves as a MOBA.
Yeah.
Something unique.
3v3. Yeah, it's unique, it's different.
Yeah.
And, it probably gets like the normal, like people who've never played a MOBA before, like me. It's so much easier playing like 3v3 than having to do 5v5 on such as I play on like a 6+, but it's probably just easier to like draw in like a noob crowd, like never played MOBAs before.
Yeah,
you also have to like take. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay.
I think it's what they need to do, but I bet you there's some staff and SEMC that are thinking, do we really want to change the game? Because this is Vainglory is a 3v3. Like that's what made us Vainglory and why we still like as Vainglory is wicked, and I just don't want to see it fall into the shadows if it changes to a 5v5. And I don't really think it will, but it's just a risk that they might have to take if they really want to get even bigger.
Right. Yeah, you guys mentioned like playing on the phone, and I'm terrible on the phone. I play on like iPad, but like be able to click on if there's 10 people on that map and you're trying to click and move around everyone, it's going to be hard on a phone. Maybe what if the 5v5 is only for the tablets?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Dang, never thought of that.
Like phone too, like, because all the phones now, like Apple's coming out with like the iPhone 8, and it's supposed to be, I can't remember the exact digits it's supposed to be, but it's supposed to be about like an inch. No, not an inch. Like, it's supposed to be bigger than the iPhone 6 Plus.
Mm-hmm.
So like the 7.
And I mean, that's still pretty small, to be completely honest, for a MOBA with 5 people. And like, so if you're playing lane, then you have to worry about last hitting like 4 other characters that are trying to hit you at once.
Right.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of stuff to worry about on such a small screen.
Stuff to put on one screen too.
Yeah, I wonder like how bad the lag could be with like all the stuff going on. All the ultimates being activated, 10 ultimates being activated at once.
Oh man.
All the items being popped at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
If only
sure
there was like an all-for-one game mode.
I'm sure if we're having these questions and people in the community are having these, I'm sure they're trying to work these out and think of these too. But yeah, it's I feel like they're gonna have to start giving us some little tidbits here and there soon. Otherwise, people are gonna start to lose faith in this.
Well, like a good sign for them too is like I remember hearing, I can't remember what podcast or what it was, but FlashX was talking to someone about it, and then he was hopeful for it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I'm pretty
it's been
sure
a pleasure being on the podcast today.
What? I'm so confused. Oh man. But yeah, how they're like basically
And I hope you guys come out and check out Lions as they play in the NaCl tournament that's going on this week.
You starting to advertise now.
Hashtag 8BitVG on Twitter.
Well, yeah.
shameless plugs.
Well, yeah, cool. I'll include links to you guys in the show notes, and everyone should, check out what you guys are doing. Keep a lookout for the community event. Really awesome to have you guys on here and talk Vainglory. Thanks for joining me.
It was my pleasure.
Thanks for having us, man.
So sad.
Oh well.
It's ending. No. Now I have to go back with playing with my team.
And then Shatter The Vain's on Twitter at Shatter The Vain, website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes get posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, everything's there. So, and I'll be back with 164 next week. Take care.
Let's get this over with.